You guys doing okay? In the valley. You know Xavier's back in town. And we got Jamal for this weekend. He's leaving again though, man. I don't know about that. It's a Jamal tease. We gotta get a deep talking brother to replace Jamal. Nah, you can't teach him. So you guys doing okay? Singers did a great job. Felicity and Jessica did a phenomenal job sharing. I think next year Michelle and I are going to sneak in and pretend to be single. We'll just date one another all weekend. Girl, what's your name? Do I know you? I'm your baby mama. That's my wife. She's home in bed with a cold, so I get to be stupid. But anyway, see you guys doing great. We're going to have a phenomenal service. So this is me, and we're going to have a message today, and the message is this: the game changer. The game changer. I got young people in the audience. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna put Mike to work, man, because you're a track star. Come on up here. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of experiment. And Mike is going to take the mic and get your response to the experiment. It's nothing too fancy. Alright, you hold the mic and go on down there. I'll tell you who to get to the car. Now, if you have sunglasses, I want you to take them out and put them on. You got to change the mics up? Alright, just go ahead and change them. So I keep it. No, come on. Oh! They're running you. I didn't understand the meaning. Keep speaking to Jim. But if you have sunglasses, take them off. No, raise your hand. Don't get sunglasses on. Raise your hand for your sunglasses. We're going to hit my hand to a pair. If you need a pair of sunglasses, raise your hand. If you need a pair, raise them. There you go. And then I hand them out. And maybe one of the other ushers. I tell you what. Justin, why don't you help Jamal hand up sunglasses? Justin, yeah, you go. Hopefully Justin sitting down. There you go. I'll put you to work. All right. Keep your hands out. Do you have a pair of sunglasses?
I got sunglasses.
Hold them high. We gonna run out of sunglasses. I just assume people had sunglasses. In the car, huh? You want to look cool from here to the car? Alright, if you haven't put them on, don't worry about it. Now you go out there. Now I want you to share what has changed visually.
Got dark.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to say it to Mike with you. You just shout. Don't put it out there. Anything else? Like what visually describe the phenomenon of having sunglasses inside? Anybody? Mr. Aaron Bristol.
It got dimmer.
It got dimmer. But your voice still getting deeper. Oh, anybody else? Speaking for the High Voice Club of America, I can tell you. Anybody else? Just got dimmer, got dark. Yeah, one. Okay, so say it in the mic for all of us to hear.
I was writing and it went out of focus.
You're writing when I'm focused. Is it hard to read with your sunglasses on? Anything else? Nothing?
Mine have kind of a pink hue to everything, so there's nothing white anymore. Everything's pink.
Everything's pink, so it's a little distorted, right? Xavier, you had your hand up again? What was the question? You know what? I'm going to throw something at you. There's going to be violence in the Church of God.
The appearance change.
The appearance change, absolutely. That's what wrong. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? What's your deeper question? Thank you so much, Mike. You get that back to the gentleman in the back. You get this in the back. Appreciate that. You said, what was the purpose of exercise? I just wanted to wear sunglasses in church. But aside from that, 7, and we got that on the slide, verse 1. Joshua 7, let me set it for a read the verse. Moses got Israel all the way to the promised land. You know, they fled Egypt, and they crossed the Red Sea, and he got them all the way to the promised land. It took 40 years because of Israel's sin. That's a whole other story. But they got to the promised land. Moses wasn't allowed to enter because of his own sin. But Joshua was commended and commanded by God to lead God's people into the promised land and to conquer the promised land. Okay? So they get there, and Joshua was told by the Lord to be strong, courageous, and there were some mighty kingdoms. And two of the mightiest kingdoms they would face were the Amorites and the Canaanites. And the first of the kingdoms were the Amorite kingdoms, and the God bless you, and the city that everybody feared was Jericho. Because Jericho was a powerful army with impregnable walls that had never been conquered. You couldn't get past the walls. And the great people of Jericho said, man, these Israelites will never get past Jericho. And even the Israelites themselves wondered, how are we going to get past Jericho? But God told them to march around the city 7 times. And on the 7th time, play a trumpet or whatever, and the walls fell down, and they conquered Jericho. It was amazing. Right. And so after they conquered Jericho, when all the nations of the promised land were afraid of the Israelites, said, man, if they conquered Jericho, they can do anything, right? Right. And the Israelites themselves had great faith because they had conquered the greatest test. Great victory. So in that context, we get to Joshua chapter 7. Because all that happened in Joshua 6, that was Jericho. Joshua chapter 7, starting with verse 1. It says, but the Israelites were unfaithful in regard to the devoted things. So they were unfaithful in regard to the devoted things. These are things that were supposed to be set aside to the Lord. So when they conquered Jericho, there were certain things that were supposed to be set aside for the Lord, and they were unfaithful to those things. Achan, son of Carmi, the son of Zimri, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, took some of them, so the Lord's anger burned against Israel. So Israel, one of the Israelites, Achan, took some of the devoted things for himself. And because he did that and hid that, God's anger burned against all of them. Doesn't seem fair, does it? Reminds me back in the day where you get we had 4 kids in our household, and 3 boys. And the 3 boys often got treated as one. Didn't seem fair to me. But hey, kept it straight, right? So that happened, and in verse 2 it says, keep on going. Now Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, that's the next city, which is near Beth-aven, to the east of Bethel, and told them, go up and spy out the region. So the men went up and spied out Ai. So he sent some spies to check out the next city to see how challenging that would be, right? When they returned to Joshua, verse 3, they said, not all the army will have to go up against Ai. Send 2,000 or 3,000 men to take it, and do not weary the whole army, for only a few people live there. He said, this is easy. You don't need to send the whole army. Just send a few people there. Nothing to this one. This is easy, right? Right. Keep on going, verse 4. So about 3,000 went up, but they were routed by the men of Ai, who killed about 36 of them. They chased the Israelites from the city gate and as far as the stone quarries, and struck them down on the slopes. At this, the heart of the people melted in fear and became like water. Wow. What a difference a day makes. Right. They went from being world beaters to being terrified, and their hearts melting like water. Then what's this have to do with sunglasses? I'm glad you asked. Right. Next slide. This is what sin does to us. We lose focus. We lose focus. And this is one man's sin, and the effect of that sin, and not just sin, but hidden sin, because this is a very important distinction. he's not the only person in Israel that sinned. We all sin every day, right? But this is hidden sin. He was trying to hide this thing. He knew it was wrong. He was trying to smile. He was coming to church and smiling in everybody's face. Oh, that's great. And living a double life. And sometimes we think because nobody knows, no one's getting hurt, right? But there's an effect that sin has, even hidden sin, on the person and on the community. On the individual, on the household, on the family, on the church, that sin has an effect. When we sin against God, it affects us, and affects our relationship with God. When people sin around us, their sin can affect us negatively and impact us. And if you don't protect yourself or safeguard yourself spiritually, it will make you lose your focus. And this is what sin does. The thing about the sunglasses is everything was the same, but different. That's why I saw the comment. It wasn't that. This is darker, right? Depending on what it is, maybe the colors look a little bit different, right?
Right.
You know, if you're trying to read off your phone, maybe it's harder to focus on your phone because you got sunglasses on. I mean, it's not that different. It's not like, Kenya's there and this is not there. I mean, all the elements in the room that were there were still there, but it's different. And the way sin affects our lives is that the problems you have when you're doing well spiritually, you see them. But when you're not close to God, they look different. Everything's darker.
Wow.
God's a little blurry. You still see God, God's still there, but he's blurry. Those problems that you saw, okay, God can surely do that. Everything's more gloomy, it's darker, the shadows are more shadowy, right? It's more gloomy. They knew that conquering the promised land was challenging the day after they conquered Jericho. But the effects of sin made them lose faith. And they start thinking about all the other kingdoms, and now that they lost one battle, they're all going to conquer. And I mean, it went on. We didn't read the whole passage, but they were worried now about other kingdoms conquering them. That now they know they're weak. But all the issues were always there. But their vision, their perspective, the way they saw them was different. And that's the effect of sin. Our own sin, and sometimes getting caught up in the sin of others. Getting caught up in how your boss treated you. Getting caught up in that person's sin hurting your faith. Or that situation that you're in, taking the faith out of you. Getting your focus off God. Or sometimes we get caught up in too. Whether it's impurity or pornography or gossip or anger or bitterness. We get caught up in our own stuff.
Right.
Having sex outside of marriage, cheating on our spouses. Whatever it is. We get caught up in stuff. And we try to hide it. And it drags us down. We're not living the same life Monday through Saturday as we talk about on Sunday. And we know it. Man, we're nasty at work. Man, we're nasty on the road. Man, we're not thinking about God a lot of the time. We're doing whatever we want to do. But then we try to pretend like, I'm Joe disciple. Now, not you, but some people.
Yeah.
Read, Frank.
But when we're not living it, it changes our whole perspective. And sometimes it's not so much the evil that we're doing, it's the good that we're not doing. We get caught up in ourselves and we stop being in the Bible and being in prayer and loving and sharing and trying to help people, and we get more inward focus and more whatever, and so it's the sin of self. And we're back on the throne and Jesus is back off the throne. He's the co-pilot now, we're the pilot. And really, when we're doing things right, we're in the back seat and he's driving.
Right.
And when we're that way, it just changes our whole disposition. It's like, man, you're close to God. I love my wife. I got great kids. We have challenges, but God's working them out. God's brought us this far. He's going to bring us through, right? I'm not close to God. Man, my wife gets on my nerves. She really needs to change. My kids are horrible. Our problems are so big. We had problems in the past. They're still not going away. Why is this happening to me? I don't know what's going on. But it's like, has my life changed that much in 24 hours? Yeah, we're doing great spiritually, man. I love HavenRock. HavenRock's great. We're going to do great. This is awesome. We're not doing well spiritually, man. This church, the people aren't disciples. I don't know why they want to change. No one wants to do anything. Now look, can I help give you a secret? We always had issues. Have things really changed that much in a week or a month or a couple of months? I would argue that maybe you've changed. People aren't any greater or less or more jacked up than they were, you know. We change. Our perspective changes. We're talking about what everybody needs to be doing, but we're not doing anything, really. And sin has an effect on our focus. It changes the way we see the world. Because it changes whether we're walking in the presence of God. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
All right. So we lose focus. Other thing about sin, next slide. We become contagious. Our sin is contagious. Right? It's a contagious thing. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Okay, Achan sinned. He did it. All of Israel didn't do it, but it has an effect on everybody.
Right.
Right? And a lot of times people get caught up in sin. Or we get caught up in whatever. And so just like one person can inspire a room, one person can bring a room down. One person's faith can lift up a household. Right? The whole household will be lifted up through one person's faith. And one person's sinfulness can bring down a household.
Wow. Come on.
That sin is it's a contagious thing. It's a contagious illness. You can go into a beautiful room. You go into a beautiful house. Maybe you go to a show house, or maybe you live in it, and you go there, everything's laid out great, right? So, man, I can live here. This is like a dream house, right? But what if somebody puts a dead animal somewhere in their house? Is it going to be a dream house? I hate this house. I'm getting out of this house, right? Sin is like putting a dead animal on the room. And even if you don't know what it is or where it is, it's like that smell gets on everything. And hidden sin is like that. You may not know what it is, but the whole room changes. The whole household changes. Your relationships change. The church changes. Because of things that we're not dealing with. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Yes.
This is the effect of sin. This is the effect of sin. Just like we have to immunize against things that are contagious, with some measles or the mumps or whatever it is, we need to immunize ourselves against sin.
Amen.
Because it's contagious. Let's keep on reading in Joshua chapter 7, starting with verse 10. I done lost all my friends, man. Jesus loves me, man. I think. I know it is. Joshua chapter 7, verse 10. And if you got a device or you brought your Bible, hopefully you can read it on that, because I don't need more slides for that. A little bit more than that I want to put on the slide. Verse 10, the Lord said to Joshua, so we're having 6 to 9 that we're not going to do. Joshua, they lose. Joshua weeps and puts sackcloth and ashes and tears his robes and goes to God. And the elders will say, God, what's going on? You're supposed to be with us. How's this bad thing happening? How did we lose? You've forsaken us. Now we're going to get wiped out. And now the people are going to realize, of the lands of these nations, realize that we're weak and they're going to destroy us. How could you let this happen? We represent your great name. How could you let bad things happen to your people? So that's what Joshua says to God. And God, being God, has a response. Verse 10. The Lord said to Joshua, stand up. What are you doing down on your face? It's a funny answer, right? Israel has sinned. They have violated my covenant, which I commanded them to keep. They have taken some of the devoted things. They have stolen. They have lied. They put them with their own possessions. That is why the Israelites cannot stand against the enemies. They turn their backs and run because they have been made liable to destruction. I will not be with you anymore unless you destroy whatever among you is devoted to destruction. Go consecrate the people. Tell them, consecrate yourselves in preparation for tomorrow. For this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. There are devoted things among you, Israel. You cannot stand against your enemies until you remove them. Okay? Every time bad things happen to you, that means you sin. Okay? But if we have sin in our life that we're not dealing with, not being honest with, not getting help with, not repenting of. Next slide. Oh, I missed this slide. I said. I had a slide. Leave my presence. How'd that happen? Well, if you have sin in your life that you're not dealing with, we're in danger of missing out on God's favor. God wants to bless your life. And that doesn't mean you're going to hit the lottery, okay? A lot of times, favors preach as everything going well in your life. Look, Jesus had God's favor all the days of his life, even when he was being crucified. Paul had God's favor all the years of his ministry, even when he was in prison. Okay, Jeremiah had God's favor all through his ministry, even when he was a weeping prophet and being persecuted. So favor doesn't necessarily mean that everything's going great from a human perspective, but you have a joy and a peace within your life, and the favor of God in your life when you walk in God's favor, and we miss out on that. We miss out on that when we're not dealing with stuff in our lives. Does that make sense? It says, guys, you got sin that you're not dealing with, and you're all liable because you're your brother's keeper, but also you're not dealing with stuff in your camp. And you got to consecrate yourselves and deal with the stuff going on, or you will not have the blessing of my favor. Now Achan thought he could hide it and it would stay hidden. That's what the next slide is for. Go back to that slide. That's what that slide is for. This is Numbers 32:23. This is when God gives them a command. And he says after the command, if you fail to do this, you will be sinning against the Lord. And you may be sure of what? Your sin will do what? Will find you out. Anybody ever been around little kids?
Yeah.
Little kids are extremely cute and a lot of hard work. That's why God made them cute, because if they weren't cute, we would throw them out. Can you imagine if someone wasn't cute and they pooped in a diaper, you'd be like, get rid of this child. But they're so cute, right? So adorable. Then they become teens, it's like, oh Lord Jesus. But here's the thing. So, but you ever see kids, they put the hand over their eyes and they think they're invisible?
Yes.
Because they can't see you, that means you can't see them. And they really believe when they're little. They really believe that they're invisible because they can't see you. And you're like, boy, kid's stupid. No, it's cute, right? But they really believe that they're because they can't see you. And that's kind of how it is. Like we really believe that we can hide sin from God. That somehow not telling people means that God's not going to, doesn't know. And he's not dealing with us. And so I'm not going to tell anybody because I don't want this to get bad. And God's like, you do understand that I see you. Just because you are closing your eyes on a situation doesn't mean my eyes are on the situation. I see you. You're like, okay, I'm invisible, God. God can't see me. He's like, you idiot. I see you. I was there Friday night, remember? I was in the room. I see you. And let's understand this. And you can get defensive. Somebody asks me, well, how are you doing spiritually, India? I'm doing great. How are you and Sean? We've never done better. No, he saw you Saturday night. When you body slammed Sean, hurt his back, that's why he's not in church. No, I'm kidding. This is a joke. That was the previous week. No. I forgot my college football roundup, by the way. Alabama beat some team by 1,000 points. Sanford lost. Miles had a heartbreaker. Please encourage David, a Miles football player. They had a heartbreaker. And Michigan is something we don't really care about. So that's okay. That's all right. But they did win. And Ohio State won. But meanwhile, back to Jesus. But you know what? Whatever's going on, God's there. And God says this. Here's the thing. Not just that I see you, but because I see you, understand this. Your sin will find you out. That whatever you've hidden, I will uncover. You don't have to confess it. I will reveal it. And here's the thing. There is spiritual blessing and benefit in confessing your sin. There is no benefit in being exposed. I've done a lot of marriage counseling. And I've seen marriages reconcile with unbelievable things that were done wrong. I mean, physical abuse, infidelity, all sorts of things. And marriages reconcile and they repent and come together and do incredible things with God, right? And the most promising situations are when one party confesses. They come one day and say, look, I've been living a double life. I want to make this work. I'm so sorry. This is what happened. What is extremely difficult and rarely works, sometimes it does work, but rarely works, is when someone gets caught. Because even though the things that were done are very hurtful, because you on your own confessed it, there is the hope that even though you've broken trust, that maybe I can trust you. When you get caught, how can I ever believe that you're not confessing only what's been exposed? And that's in terms of how it affects people. With God, there's no spiritual benefit in being found out. There's great spiritual benefit in confessing your sin. He says, look, guys, come clean, because you do understand, I know what's going on anyway, and your sin will find you out. And being found out is not good for you. It's not beneficial for you. Now, what ended up happening with Achan, he was found out. Look, Anthony, I did the homework on Wednesday to read this passage, and Anthony read it and sent me a text last night. And he said, look, what stood out to him was the fact that Achan had a chance to come clean. They gave him a day to consecrate themselves. Now, Achan knew what he did. Even though he had confessed it previously, he could have come forward then and said, look, I'm the problem. I know this is about me. This is what I've done. In consecrating myself, I'm going to deal with my stuff. I took some devoted things, I hid them in my camp. He took a good little piece, and he hid them in his tent in the ground, okay? But even then, he tried to hide his sins from God, like God wouldn't know. And so, what we're doing time to read, he gets found out. and he and his family were punished, were killed because of his sin. He said, well, that's not fair. At the end of the day, people suffer the consequences of your sin. Doesn't mean the response is a different thing. I'm not responsible for the stuff my parents did.
Right.
But if your dad's alcoholic, you will feel the consequences of his sin. And the children often feel the full brunt of the parents' sin.
Right.
And his sin was so egregious that his family felt the full consequence. They weren't guilty in the eyes of God. It didn't stay in them spiritually, but physically, they suffered the full consequences of Achan's sin.
Right.
Amen.
Pretty serious, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And what a bummer. I want the church to be inspired.
Come on, bro.
They inspired folk in Arizona. The name of this seminar is Downer. It gets better.
Come on.
Next slide.
Come on, Frank.
Next slide. Yeah. Acts 3:19. It just says this. Repent then and turn to God, so that your sins may be wiped out and the times of refreshing may come from the Lord.
Amen.
You know, you may not believe this based on Joshua 7, but God is not in the punishing business. It doesn't mean he doesn't punish, he does. And he means every promise in the Bible, all the good promises and all the warnings, okay?
Right.
But what God is saying is, I'm in the favor, I'm in the blessing business. Look, I know how Achan's sin turns out. But I don't know what would have happened if Achan had come clean from the very beginning.
Come on.
Because God is a God of blessing. What he wants to give is mercy.
Right.
What he wants to give is second chances. What he wants to give freely is favor.
Right.
Amen.
What he wants to give today is the good news of repentance and not the bad news of punishment.
Right.
He wants to take off the sunglasses to end the disease. He says, look, what has to happen though is Christian has to repent and come clean, confess it and confess your sin and repent of it. Now, it's not the same thing. Confession is being honest about it before God and man, right? Repentance is making a decision to change.
Right.
Now, God does the changing, by the way.
Amen.
But the decision to change is made by us.
Right.
That we want to do whatever it takes to change, and then God empowers it. He says, if you repent, I'll wipe away the sin, and I will refresh you.
Amen.
I'll give you the strength and the ability and the power to be different. I'll give you the miraculous ability to wipe away the hurt and the pain. I will refresh you with your spirit. I will cast my favor on you, not because you're perfect, but because you want to do right.
Right.
There was great benefit in confession. There was great benefit in repentance. There is none in concealing.
Amen.
Right.
A church full of sinners can be blessed. Because we keep our sin before the Lord.
Right.
We repent of our sin daily and we are renewed daily by the power of the Spirit. A household of sinful people can be blessed and live in God's favor.
Amen.
As we deal with our stuff and don't hide our stuff under the bed.
Right. Come on.
But hypocrisy, blame shifting,
Come on, Frank.
God wants to give you favor this morning.
Amen.
God wants to bless your household this morning. God wants to give you joy this morning. God, that is the good news.
Amen.
You can't even drag it. God wants to leave hopping. But you can't leave the devoted things buried in the backyard, waiting for God to expose it, hoping that it never happens.
Come on, Frank.
You've got to dig it out and say, God, I'm sorry. I repent. I'm not going to do it again. I want to change. And he will wipe away your sins, renew your spirit, and give you the power to be someone different. Because that power does not reside in us.
Amen.
It resides in him. And he will give you the favor. He's not trying to hold it back.
Amen.
He's not trying to Now here's the thing. I don't know about you. You ever seen those old cartoons? Where there's first off, I feel older every day. And it's not the knees and the joints, although that happens too. You know you're getting old when you pull a hamstring and you didn't do anything. When you're young, you pull things, you know why? Well, what happened? Well, I fell out of a tree and I played football. Then I got hit by a car and I think I pulled a muscle. You know, that's the kind of stuff that happens when you're young. You do incredible things and you have a scratch, right? When you're older, what happened, man? You're limping really bad. I think I popped my hands. What you do? I was tying my shoes. That's a bad sign. That's a really bad sign. You're on IR for injury, shoe tying. But no, the main way you know you're getting older is your preferences get outdated. So I saw a sister today. She'll be nameless, and she had a different hairstyle, which she does pretty regularly, which is cool. And I said, man, you got that Street Fighter look today. And I did a reference to Street Fighter, which if you're young, you probably don't know what that is. That was a very popular video game. And the most popular character was Chun-Li. And she had a Chun-Li hairstyle. So I said, you got the Street Fighter vibe. And she looked at me puzzled, like, Street Fighter? So I told my brother next to me, you know Street Fighter? He said, no, I don't know it either. I said, man, I hate both of y'all. I hate both of y'all. Go look it up or something. Google it. All right. For you young people, there used to be old cartoons, but there was an angel and a devil on the shoulder. That was a common thing in old cartoons, whether it be Bugs Bunny or whatever. And the angel trying to talk about the good stuff, and the devil trying to get to the bad stuff. There's nothing to fight each other in the cartoon. Right now, before you go home, I know there's a devil and an angel on the shoulder.
Wow.
And the devil's saying, look, you don't know these people.
Come on.
Your stuff's not that bad.
Come on.
You can deal with it. Don't tell anybody. Things you did are just normal. You can deal with it on your own. That's what the devil's saying.
Come on, Frank.
You're not in a bad mood because of sin. You're in a bad mood because people aren't doing right around you. You're fine. You fine the way you are. It's the people around you that aren't fine.
Come on.
And you look good with sunglasses on.
Come on.
It's stylish.
Come on, Frank.
You wear your sunglasses at night. Another old reference. Just break out and start singing that song. Anyway, the angel's saying, look, don't you want favor? Don't you want to be free? Don't leave here today until you grab somebody and say, this is what's going on. I haven't been close to God. I've been angry about my finances. I've been angry at God about my health, my finances. I've been bitter at God. It's not always people that we're sinning against, right? Man, I've been doing the porn thing, man. I haven't wanted anybody to know. I've been fighting with my wife every day, and I haven't wanted to talk about it. This is what's going on, man. I'm a Christian on Sundays, but I'm not a Christian on Saturday nights. This is what's happened. I'm not necessarily doing anything wrong, but I just stopped doing the things that were right. This is where I am right now. Can you pray for me? I don't want to be this way again. And you pray, you get some help, and you repent, and you will leave out this place different than you came in. Don't miss out on God's favor. Listen to a voice that's not looking out for you. God's in the favor business. He's in the blessing business. And there's no reason why Joshua 7 had to end the way it ended. For us, this is a time of gospel. Let's make a decision, whatever the situation is, to repent refreshed. And to God be the glory. Amen.
Amen.
This is time to remember Christ's death.